In case you guys don't know, 99.9% of the time, I am drunk.
Hi, welcome to Geeky Gamer Girls, where we get to the root of Geeky Gamer Girls. This metal cover by Girls Melon can be found on SoundCloud.com.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Geeky Gamer Girls. I'm Amanda.
I'm drunk.
She's also
And
Sam.
I'm a little buzzed.
And that's Katherine.
Well, I guess I'm not really drunk, but
I
I just
good.
wanted to say that.
You should make this drink for me forever.
Yes, baby.
And what kind of drink are you drinking there?
I forgot, what was it again?
So in case you guys missed it, we will be posting a video in about a week. We made some Halloween drinks, or attempted to. I'm a cheap ass and I didn't have all the ingredients, but we are currently, obviously already had a few, and we are currently drinking our favorite drinks. I personally have a Margarita, which very quickly just has some lime, club soda, tequila, triple sec, cherries, and some cherry syrup. I believe what Kat is actually drinking is called a Witch's Brew. It has pineapple, which I substituted for triple sec, cranberry juice, Sprite, and Malibu.
And then what'd you put in that first Bloody Mary?
Honestly, I just got some Bloody Mary mix, spicy one from Walmart, and some Absolute vodka. Definitely, I don't have a recipe for that. I just kind of fill the drink up. Normally, I put like 4 to 6 shots of vodka in it. I was a little light on it for you.
That's okay. I added enough for myself.
And I'm practically the drinking virgin here. Like, all I've had was rum. And maybe a couple of wine coolers, but that's it.
See, I can't drink rum. I just don't care for the flavor of it. No offense to anybody that does. It's just not me.
Alright, so speaking of Halloween, or Halloween drinks, what are some costume ideas that you guys have for Halloween? Do you guys have anything that you want to be that maybe you can't be?
So this is so white girl cliche. I'm telling you this right now. And I saw this on a video.
Oh boy.
Starbucks Frappuccino.
How the fuck do you be a Starbucks driver?
Wait.
You dress up in like brown and...
No, I want to give this a shot. It's like you're dressed up like in the...
Starbucks cup.
Yeah, the Starbucks
and
cup.
And then you make a fake foam around the edge.
But what do you use as a Starbucks cup?
You cut a cardboard box or get those little science projects.
That's definitely not what I was thinking.
And then you draw the Starbucks logo or cut out the Starbucks logo and put it on there.
The Starbucks.
See, I was actually...
Go ahead, Amanda.
See, I was actually picturing a foam or cardboard actual Starbucks cup costume.
That's, the cheap-ass way to make it is out of boxes.
Yeah. For those of you broke people like us.
Yeah.
Well, something that I really want to do, something you viewers don't know yet about me, I absolutely 100% refused to watch Game of Thrones. And then my boyfriend, I had ran out of everything on Netflix, and my boyfriend said, just try it.
How do you run out of everything on Netflix?
Because it's me, and I'm obsessed. So, I tried it. I watched Game of Thrones, and the second Khaleesi came on screen, I was like, oh my god, I think I'm in love.
There's a lot of girls out there that are like, oh my god, she's gorgeous.
And that's something that I hate because I'm so I'm a little hipster in that sense. I don't like going with the flow. So I was really upset about that. But, you know, if I had the money, I would totally be Khaleesi. Just get blonde extensions, and home make a costume. That would be awesome. But honestly, I'm going to do what I do every year, and what every basic bitch does, and just be a slut for Halloween.
What about you, Amanda?
You actually triggered one that I remember I wanted to do. It was actually a couple years ago, some of our friends had this idea to, if we ever had the money, go out for Halloween as characters from Rebo the Genetic Opera. That would be, what is it, Blind Mag or Madge? It's been a while since I've seen the movie.
You've been drinking.
Yeah.
I want to say Maggie, but that's wrong.
Well, I know it's like M-A-G, so...
Madge.
But I would definitely want to be
Margaret.
Maybe
it's like
what is
Mag.
that, Warcraft?
No, it's either Mag or Madge. I can't remember which one. It's been a while, but I would want to dress up as her for Halloween.
What about you, Kat? Do you have any fantasies that you wish you could do if you had like money for it?
If I had the money for it, I would want to be Princess Yue from The Last Airbender.
Oh God, I could see that. It would be good for you.
I put the white wig on today. I show Scott, I'm like, Scott, this is what I'll look like with a white wig.
How
And I put on a white wig, and he's like, okay, you do look good with white hair. I'm like, that's it. My hair is going white when my hair is long.
Oh boy.
So do you guys have anything, traditions or anything in particular that, particular,
We're drinking. It's okay.
that you will be doing for Halloween? I know, as you guys know, my boyfriend is in a fraternity, and my favorite time of year is Halloween for that, because not only his chapter, but we go down to Tucson, and their chapter has a house there, like an actual set, like dorm type of thing, and they throw a really big ass Halloween party. And this is the first year where I'll actually be able to drink there, since you have to show your ID and everything like that. So I really want to go. That was kind of
Did
a
you
tradition.
make sure your ID is sideways?
Oh yeah, like I honestly was so lazy. I waited like a month after my 21st to do it, but that was before the whole like if you don't have it this way, you know.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you guys know this, Arizona, you have to have it a certain vertical, right?
No,
Is
it's
that horizontal?
It's like vertical before you're 21, and then after.
Horizontal,
Yeah.
you have to. The second
Yeah.
you turn 21, you have to have it horizontal or or else you cannot buy alcohol.
Yeah, that is the
You
law in
can't go into
Arizona.
clubs
They
either.
officially passed
Yeah.
that. And before I turned 21 before that, so I didn't have to worry so much about it. But anyways, that was something that I love going down there before. We didn't get to do it last year, unfortunately, because supposedly there was no talk of it. But I think he just missed it on the thread or something on Facebook.
You actually reminded me of something when somebody carded me at a club once. I mean, I was 21, obviously, and I still had my learner's permit, unfortunately, but even then, if you renew it after 21, it's still horizontal.
Yeah.
And,
What if you just got like a state ID? Because that's bullshit. They don't let you in. And
No, it
Well, no,
doesn't
this
have
was-
to be a driver's license. Like the state
State
ID.
ID.
well, no, this was a couple of years ago, and I've actually never had a state ID, just a
I
permit.
haven't.
The
either.
state ID is the same way.
Mm-hmm.
When you reach a certain age, it turns vertical.
Yeah, but she
Or
said
not
Or
vertical,
horizontal.
She said that even if after her permit, it wouldn't turn horizontal.
No, it was horizontal.
Oh.
After I bumped 21, it turned or I guess.
She's older than us.
I know. Right?
Yeah, remember, I got a couple years on you
I'm
guys.
the young one of the
But-
group.
But it was
How old are
funny
you again?
because.
I'm 22. Almost.
Oh,
Yeah, see?
So you're not too much younger,
I actually
but.
not the baby anymore.
Oh,
Yay!
no, I'm always
Yeah.
the baby.
Anyway, I remember when I first got the permit, I looked at my face and like, I look so puffy in this picture. I give the guy my ID and he's looks at me, looks at the ID, looks back at me, and I felt like puffing out my cheeks and go, how about this?
Do I look?
As I puff out my cheeks for those of you just listening at home.
So do you guys have any traditions or anything you guys look forward to every Halloween? Obviously, dressing up, getting candy, getting drunk with your meat.
I actually, last Halloween, I got very upset because I couldn't do my tradition that my family does every year where we carve pumpkins and we make homemade pumpkin seeds. This is because I was moved out and I brought it up to Scott and he's like, I don't see the point. I literally was about to cry because I've had this since I was born.
You're the first person I know that actually has Halloween traditions. I mean,
Yeah.
there's always the ever popular, we go out as kids, get dressed up as kids and go trick-or-treating, but I've never actually had a set tradition like that.
Yeah, my family has traditions when it comes to holidays, but that changed after my grandfather had passed away. And I was the only one that kept on telling them I want to keep it going.
I'm the same way with any traditions in my family. I'm like, nope, gotta do it.
Did you have any traditions, Amanda?
Well, first of all, you kind of like made me go, oh, because we hung out last after Halloween, but no, I get where you're coming from, though, because I miss when we would, it wasn't necessarily a tradition, because we would do it at different dates, but when my family used to carve the pumpkin and things like that, I miss that to this day.
Well, if you guys want, we can do that this year.
Definitely keep
that
that in
teach
mind.
you guys how to make homemade pumpkin seeds.
I actually did that
I'm
last
curious
year
about
with my
that.
boyfriend and my mom, but it was more Thanksgiving time that we did it. Because I wanted to learn how to make a fresh homemade pumpkin pie.
I want to try one.
Definitely
of those.
trial and error there. I put too much olive oil in it or something, so
it was too.
I would need somebody to slap my wrist.
The
So
one
I know.
Go ahead.
But in terms of traditions, it's actually something I want to do when I get older and have kids. When I went trick-or-treating, there used to be this house in my neighborhood that would always have a haunted house. Whether they were just like sitting in the window in a scary mask, or they would have like the sound effects.
Those are so cheesy.
I know,
And those are so much fun at the same time.
I think if you're like, to each his own, obviously. I think if I was 4, I would enjoy that.
Yeah.
Just because when I'm older, I'm like, oh, okay, smoke machine. You're at the plastic mask you're wearing, you know?
Yeah, no, I know, but it's one of those things where it's like, if I could figure out how to do one just right, that would make me go, okay, that sounds awesome. I would love to be able to do that in my own neighborhood even if it's just, the little kids that get scared, I think that'd be fun to do.
You're gonna drown me in alcohol.
You are welcome. In case you guys don't know, 99.9% of the time, I am drunk. So,
that's not exactly it, but it's a good chunk of it.
I am pushing my friends along here, peer pressure, to get them to drink up a little bit more by shoving their drinks in their faces, and they don't appreciate it. But
I'm a sipper.
yeah, she babies her. Me over here, I'm like, chug, chug, chug. You drink 4 shots.
See, the only time I chug is if I don't like the drink, and I've got the voice in my head, but you can't waste alcohol.
Yeah?
You should not waste the alcohol.
So I respect you guys as friends, because you don't waste alcohol.
I tried a 7 and 7 once, and it was something my mom had suggested, but she never suggested the idea that, when I order it, I get extra 7-Up. She never told me that until after, so I'm like, this tastes nasty. I want to get to my next drink faster.
There's something that everyone typically talks about Halloween is what scares you and what superstitions that you have. And does Halloween, when Halloween comes around, does your superstitions and fears get worse?
I don't believe in any of that. I mean, I believe that there are ghosts out there. And I know I've talked to you a little bit about it before. I personally believe that, like, if you worship demons or anything like that, you're just inviting them into your life. Therefore, they're going to be there. Personally, I don't. As you guys know, I have an adorable black cat, and my biggest reason why I got her actually was, A, they're the least likely cat to get adopted, black cats, and B, because everybody's so terrified of it, and being the the hipster that I secretly am, I went against the grain and got a black cat, and let me tell you, she's the sweetest thing in the world. As you guys can tell, she's laying over there on her towel just to chill.
I can't remember if I ever bought into the black cat theory. Like, I know recently, like, if a black one crossed my path, I go, oh, wait, no, never mind. Yeah, and then I go about my day.
I've had friends actually tell me they don't want to come over to my house because I have a black cat.
Wow.
I'm like,
sorry.
That all I want to do was just pick her up and shove her in their face, and then they'd be like, "Oh, I'm so in love."
See, I've always wanted a cat. Like, didn't matter what kind of cat. I've always wanted one, but my mom's not a cat person.
Not cats, man.
So
Cat. I don't know if you guys know this. She is a creepy bitch.
she can be. She's not always, but she can be if she wants to be.
I don't, like I said, I don't personally believe in a lot of this stuff, but Kat has proven to me several times, even with this in this past week alone, where I'm going through some things right now, and Kat will she didn't know about any of it. She just texted me, "Hey, are you okay?" at like 3 in the morning, like 2 in the morning or something like that.
About 3 in the morning, yeah.
Yeah, and then I asked her, like, why? I didn't even tell her yes or no, and she's like, I don't know, I just have these feelings like something's wrong. And sure enough, yeah, I was up to 4 in the morning clean detailing like my patio. I wanted to vacuum my patio because something was wrong. And then there have been other times, too, where we're just talking and she'll say something and I'm like, did I tell you that? Did I? No? Okay. So why don't you tell us more a little bit about that, any stories that you have or anything like that?
Well,
to your little
like
secret
you,
superpower.
Like you, I believe in ghosts and a lot of things that people feel would make me crazy. That
On a side note, you secretly are crazy.
I am crazy, but I'm not the crazy that people should avoid.
Right.
We're all crazy,
what
though.
do you define as crazy that people should avoid?
Crazy that you should avoid is someone that, like, threatens your life, or is, like...
Should be in a mental institution.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like...
Sorry, I'm a little drunk, so obviously I have to...
Normal people that are extremely religious, like, you're religious, but you're not over-the-top religious. And there's people...
That's just because my personal choices in my life. I'm not ready to fully give myself, because I don't feel like... I'm still too selfish. Shellfish.
Shellfish sounds good right now. Just
Speaking
throwing
of
that out
which,
there.
I want to drink some more.
I am crazy to a degree, but that's only because I find so many things entertaining, so I just do it. And people think I'm crazy for it because I think it's hilarious. And
I've been drinking mine. It was
there's
full
so
when we
many
started.
there's so many definitions for crazy that I can't really give you a proper definition of what type of crazy I am.
I'd say you are, I guess, considered crazy because you have supernatural feelings, in a sense. Because I remember we've talked a little bit about stories in your past where you're at friends' houses and you're like, oh my god, do you know a little girl that's blonde hair and was sitting and looking sad at the door? And then your friend was like, yeah, that was me when I was 6 years old. How the fuck did you know that? I just met you.
See, I wouldn't call that crazy because I have relatives that had that same kind of, I guess, sense.
Keen sense,
Yeah. Like, my mom will tell me stories of when she first bought our house that we live in now, my great-grandmother walked into our house and goes, well, you don't have to worry because there's no ghosts here.
Yeah.
So.
And the thing is that my family, majority of my family thinks that there could be something wrong with me. Mainly because my mom, she doesn't...
Just kidding.
Wow.
She doesn't want to think about ghosts or anything.
And that's just because people get scared of it. I mean, that's why we go and watch scary movies, go to places that scare us.
And here's the thing, though, is that I can't handle scary things. But the second there's a ghost or something, I'm like, oh, hey.
What's up? How are you?
It's like, what are you doing here? Get out of my home.
You're not invited here.
There's not really much that's really scares me. The only thing that I get scared of is if someone scares me.
Well, what kind of things scare you, personally?
It's just surprise, the element of surprise.
Yeah, that's right. Like the other day at the hookah lounge, when you were just reading or something, and out of nowhere, it just got in your face and yelled titties.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to respond, and then
I think
the
it was
second,
more or less like punch her in the face.
Yeah,
the look I got.
The second she sat down, that reaction came out. I'm just like, what the hell? Seriously? Like, I'm gonna lose my hearing because of you.
Probably.
I think we're both going to. She did that to me last night.
Yeah, she's so cute.
But it was also kind of, nice because I was working on homework that was really frustrating me, so it was good to have you there.
So going along with things that scare us, I think something for me that scares me aren't really things that aren't there. It's not necessarily ghosts or anything like that. My fears are things that scare me or not knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But there are times where I have insomnia. It's a known thing. And I can go 3 to 5 days without sleeping, and I get so paranoid. I'll be sitting at home in the dark watching TV. And I feel like something's watching me or I hear... I can actually get paranoid. And those times I get scared, but I don't really have anything...
And the thing is that I have insomnia. It's really hard to deal with insomnia because you don't want to force yourself to fall asleep because it's not healthy.
How long have you had insomnia?
I've had insomnia since high school.
Okay, I was going to say, do you think that has anything related to the ghosts that you feel?
Yes.
You've told
It
me
does.
stories. I think it happened before that.
Well, technically, when I was little, it didn't matter because I fell asleep whenever. But
Fair enough.
as I got older, it became worse. And insomnia, actually, the more lack of sleep you have, you start to hallucinate. And you start seeing things, and you want to believe it's really something, but it's not.
You guys realize after all this alcohol, we're actually serious for a while?
But you guys are also.
You guys want us to
reminding me of
get drunk
something.
from now on? We'll be more serious.
But,
I'm so sorry, viewers. I was expecting this,
See, when we get drunk, we act like people when they're high. And then when we're high, we're gonna act like people when they're drunk. I guarantee that.
But
I don't think we're gonna ever get high.
There
I'm
you
sorry.
go.
Yeah, no, thank
Sorry,
you.
guys, don't get your hopes up.
especially
No offense.
Amanda and her career.
No, we
Do
really
you
keep
have
that on the down low.
anything that scares you, Amanda? Like anything supernatural that scares you? Do you believe in ghosts or anything like that?
I do, and I'm not going to get into some of the details that come to mind right now, but just it actually believing in the supernatural or the afterlife helped me with something we've all experienced recently. But actually, it's not so much supernatural, but I fear the dark. Because I'll
Something
see some...
you can't see.
Yeah, or I'll see something that moves, and then I'll completely freak out.
I don't give a shit what people say. I think everybody has a little bit of fear of the
Yeah.
dark. I do. I won't
But,
lie.
up until, recent months, unless I had somebody in the room with me, I couldn't even sleep in the dark. I had to have a lamp or...
Yeah, my husband actually gets annoyed because I'll be laying in bed with him for about 4 hours till I fall asleep because I have to have my phone light on so I don't freak out in the bedroom.
See, I can't do that, but that's mostly because of my migraines. But I won't lie, I have a little nightlight in the bathroom. It's not that bright, but it's bright enough to where you can see.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, there are times where I swear to God, I see like a black shadow by my door.
Do you ever just think it's your cat?
Oh, hell no, because it's too big.
So
It's
she sees an
it's
actual person or
Yeah,
something.
it's like 6 feet tall.
Mhm.
It's pretty thick. And then, but I'm just like, I'm tired. Roll over, go to bed, whatever. But
Have you ever made assumptions at all whenever you see that stuff? Sometimes based on the shape of what I see, I can see if I recognize.
No, it just looked like in the shape of a person. That's it. And I just tell myself that I'm tired and I just go to bed. I mean, I don't want to look.
You don't want to keep yourself up all night.
Yeah.
That's just something.
I seriously thought for a second you had a dog because that felt like a dog lick.
I'm sorry, my feet are clammy. Anyway.
Alright. Well, how about,
Oh, wait. I just realized a tradition that I do every year.
What?
Well, I try to if I can find it. Have you guys ever seen the movie Halloween Town?
I know what it is, but I've never seen it. Didn't they have 3 sequels
Yeah.
or something to it?
I tried watching one of those, and then the one with 3 witches, and there's a black cat.
Hocus Pocus?
I love Hocus Pocus.
That's a good one.
Yes, that's I guess something that's also a tradition of mine. Are there any other Halloween movies or anything that you guys try and watch around that time every year?
Mine was more of a Christmas movie.
Okay, well,
but
this is Halloween.
I know.
This is Halloween.
When I was
Halloween.
little, my parents always had me watch Casper and the Friendly Ghost.
Oh, how could I have forgotten about that?
I actually
The
saw
live
that.
action one, not the cartoon
Yeah.
I
one.
have this weird, almost fascination with witches. Anything witches, American Horror Story, they just did the Coven one before the new one, which is Freak Show. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. My boyfriend was like, that's fucking stupid. Why are we watching this? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, just zoned in. Witches. I love witches.
It just reminded me of one of the Casper sequels, Casper Meets Wendy, who was a witch.
That one was a good one. I love anything I guess, witches. I never really said that out loud.
I've had a couple friends that are into the pagan and it gives me an interesting perspective because I thought it was witchcraft or the way with certain relatives was oh, it's evil. It's but they're promoting energies or it's
Yeah, well, there's also
So
I didn't read it.
So what I was going to say was I forgot because I'm drunk.
Okay, what's your favorite horror movie, Catherine and Sam and I guess to a lesser extent me.
Well, this is kind of funny. I hate scary movies. I don't like things that scare me because I have enough things in my life that scare me, like, I don't know, a fear of ovens. Yes, you guys heard me correctly. I have a fear of ovens.
I could top you on that one, though.
Can you?
I was afraid of the vacuum cleaner.
Are
for
you
the
a
longest
cat?
time. I don't know. I was always like...
But how old were you? How old are you?
Oh, I'm trying to remember when I outgrew that fear, but I was at least...
I'm 22 years old and still afraid of the oven.
Ovens can burn you.
I cried when my mom gave me frozen pizza and said, "You will not eat dinner unless you put this in the oven yourself." And I sat there staring at the pizza for about 5 minutes and started tearing up. So,
I'm not that bad, but I do still have a little fear because I always picture myself like, okay, I'm wearing oven mitts, and then I touch that one piece of skin that's not covered by the oven mitt to the oven, and I will be freaking out. And that's what I will have in my head as I reach into the oven to get the muffins.
well, we're digressing.
I actually have a fear that is still with me, but not as bad as it was when I was little. And it's a very absurd fear. And I had the fear of the wind.
How do you remember how? Because I remember I've heard of this before, and I just how? Yeah, that's true.
I thought, okay, my bad. Well, I heard you guys talking about fear, so that's why.
That's because
Finish
we
your
didn't
thought,
drink.
though.
We got a little digress from horror.
Alright, so I'll finish talking about my fear, and then
By
I'll
the way,
tell you guys my horror
I just
movie.
want to let the viewers know.
Listeners, whatever we
This is
call
how
you guys,
I
viewers,
felt.
we love you anyway.
I wanted to remind Kat that we're talking about horror movies because we got digressed from fears. Anyways, this is how I spelled it on the paper to let her know that we're talking about horror movies. HORRO.
Horror.
How the fuck do you spell horror right now? I don't know. Anyways, are there any back to the point? Do you have any horror movies that you love personally?
I'm not typically a horror movie fan, but I love the Saw movies.
I haven't seen them.
I haven't. I've seen clips of them because I'm a film student. For the viewers that don't know that yet, and we've been forced to watch certain clips to learn things from actually the Saw movies. Mostly what made them so popular. But
What did
my
make
whole
them
thing was
from a
it
film
was just the
perspective?
gore. It was the blood.
that
and
was
the guts.
it. It was just so creative. It
wasn't exactly scary. It was just.
That's what it was because people prefer to be in a state of suspensefulness.
Yeah.
Is I guess for lack of a better word, as opposed to horror. People would rather be. That's how I am. Like I Am Legend. That movie was so suspenseful for me that I was actually scared. But it's not a scary movie if you sit back and think about it.
Yeah.
See, my only thing was I saw that he had a dog, and I was like, okay, I can't handle it, because I know the dog, something's going to happen to the dog, and that's going to freak me out.
That movie, if you haven't seen that movie, you have to go see that movie.
Coming from the person that literally was told every single class that I go into, we will make it to where you never want to watch a movie again, I suggest seeing I Am Legend, if that has any weight of any kind.
She's also kind of hesitant to see movies because of that fact.
And
so
what the fuck would I going to spend $20 if I'm going to criticize? Anyways, digressing again.
Yeah.
God, let's drink more. Okay.
But that movie, like, if any of you have the fear of ever being alone, left to yourself, everything else is gone, this is the movie.
Yeah. That's definitely
You can definitely relate to it, but also it'll scare the crap out of you.
Wasn't the dog's name Sam?
I think so. It was a human name.
I know, assholes. My name is Sam.
I remember in high school one of my friends had seen it, and
oh my god,
it was
I saw
more,
it. Sorry.
It was more like a she kind of explained it like the suspenseful, but more like the psychological aspect of it as like, okay, so you're chained up and you've got, I can't remember the full
premises.
of what she
That's
said.
a big word for
but-
the drinking.
But
Self-five.
she kind of explained it as, like, what would you do to free yourself? You know, if you would cut your foot off or something like that, because you have a saw in the room. And granted, me and another friend looked at each other and were like, well, we would start cutting at the chain. But still, it's like, what would you do in that situation? That's kind of how she explained it.
And I can see why they cut their own foot or leg off is because it would take forever to get through the chain.
Yeah.
And by the time the guy comes back, the guy's going to see that the chain has been snapped and he's going to make it worse for them.
Yeah.
So that's what the point of the movie sort of was like, you have one way out.
Yeah.
Even though you have all these options that you could do, they tried all those options and it wasn't working.
Yeah. See, that was explained to two people that had never seen Saw, so it was kind of like, why wouldn't you do this? But over the years, I've heard more about Saw, and it's like, okay, I understand why they would go for the foot, not the chain.
Do you have any movies that you like that are horror movies?
I've never...
I just thought we didn't ask for that, didn't we?
I've never actually...
She got into her fears and then got in...
I've actually never been a big fan of horror movies. I've always felt like I've been a big chicken when it comes to things that scare me. Like, you know, the haunted house that I was talking about earlier used to terrify me.
But fuck that. Don't call yourself a chicken. You're not a chicken. You just don't want to put yourself in a vulnerable state.
Yeah.
You're protective of yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if I need an adrenaline boost, I'm going to go jump out of a fucking plane. I'm not going to watch a scary movie.
I'm actually tempted to do that. But that's a side note.
Yes, it is.
It was actually something I watched at my cousin's birthday party, and I wanted to finish the series. We watched Scream 3.
Oh.
And I've actually... Like, I still haven't done it to this day, but I've always wanted to watch all of the Scream movies.
Do you have anything else that you wanted to add to that?
I don't know, like I said, I avoid horror movies more lately. Not so much that they'll scare me, but like suspenseful movies are they going to be too intense? Like, is it going to make me think or give me very bad nightmares kind of thing?
Scary movies, they're not for a lot of people because it gets to their head and causes nightmares.
Especially the Paranormal Activity.
See, I watched that.
It's
I watched
so
the first one.
Stupid.
And then I watched the second one, and it just keeps getting worse, and I'm like, just stop.
It's true, but I watched it in theaters. It was me and one other girl. Only people there. Midnight show of it after it obviously came out. The movie itself, if you look at it from like a critiquing critics point, that's the word, critics. If you're looking at it from that point, the movies are so incredibly fucking stupid. But if you actually try and get involved in the storyline, it's scary. I actually had a few nightmares about it. If you actually, because it shows you real, quote unquote, real life characters or whatever. It's still kind of scary if you think about that, because it grabs the fears that we all have. Yeah, like, you know, being alone in the dark that you have, anything like that. Because we all get those feelings that, Doctor Who thing right here, that hair on our neck stands and stuff like that, because we all draw attention to the fear that there's something else there.
Yeah. And, like, with me, it's kind of like, it's not so much the actual story that freaks me out, but if, like, you put yourself in their shoes and, like, oh god, what if it's something that happened with me, or, like, or if I turned out, like, I remember we saw Paranormal Activity 2, and I actually managed to psych myself out, because we had watched on Netflix first Paranormal Activity movie the night before we went to see number 2, and I just remember that face she has in the webcam before she destroys it, and I was like, I came home at like maybe around midnight that night, and I'm just looking at the front door like, am I gonna see that face?
Yep, that was
there are people out there that'll go see scary movies just so they can prove that it's all in your head.
Yeah, or they're not pussies or whatever.
Yeah, and which I know we're going back to the subject of supernatural stuff, but have you guys ever watched Medium?
Yeah, I've watched
seen a couple episodes.
And there are some people out there that they look like they actually seem like they're a medium. They don't seem like they're analyzing you. They just get it on the whim.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I watched Medium,
Have you watched Medium?
Well, she's actually based on a true person, though, isn't she?
No. Medium, not the.
No,
not
Medium is like with what's her name,
I'm
Patricia
talking
Arquette.
about the other Medium show.
Long Island Medium.
Long
That's what I was
Oh
gonna
yeah.
say.
She actually made me cry recently. I was
she-
watching some of her episodes.
There are some of them
Really
seemed
kinda
like
sad.
she legitimately saw it and stuff like that, but there are
If you
times
pay
where she was
attention.
wrong.
Yeah, if you pay
Yeah.
attention,
It's also
personally, what I believe in the whole Medium issue is that they ask you questions and they watch your ticks. No matter what, you flinch your left eye, you twitch your
Your
right
eye-
pinky,
your
or whatever.
eyebrow.
That's all it takes for it, and that's truly all you need. But then there are people out there that I believe that there are certain people out there that actually have a true gift for that.
Same here. Like, while I believe in psychics or mediums or stuff like that, yeah, I don't believe that every psychic or medium out there truly has the gift.
Yeah.
I believe there's stuff out there, and especially because I've studied science, it kind of makes me, like, I shouldn't think that way, but, like...
Well, the point of being a scientist is the scientist looks at all the possibilities out there.
Yeah.
But, I'm sorry, we're going to actually end our episode here.
Mostly because
Mainly
I'm about to
because
pee
we're
my
starting-
pants.
Yeah. And also, we're starting to drift off, and we are getting a little too drunk. So,
I know. I'm
Can we continue this conversation, though? Because I like where this is going.
we can continue after. We're going to stop recording, and we can keep talking. It's just,
Fair enough.
alright, so, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween!
I
Bye-bye.
hope y'all enjoy our Halloween drink thing that we
See,
did.
this is
before
what happens
this.
when we're drunk. Cut. End. Almost spilled my drink. End. Cut.
I hope you guys enjoy the Halloween drink YouTube skit that we did, or I guess not skit, it's a tutorial. Make sure you guys look for it in about a week or so on YouTube. We will obviously post it on our page. I hope our drunkenness wasn't too difficult to listen to. I do apologize if it wasn't as creative or
As the last one.
crazy as you thought it would be. Apparently, you can see that we get a little bit more serious when we've been drinking to an extent. Obviously, now that our drinks are almost empty, we're starting to digress a little bit. Either way, happy Halloween. I'm Sam.
I'm Amanda, and you guys have a great Halloween, whatever your traditions may be.
I'm drunk, and my name is Katherine.
I'm gonna go pee.
Stay updated with us at facebook.com/GeekyGamerGirlsPodcast. To hear more podcasts like this one, check out cockstuffproductions.com.